This module covers specific service procedures for the International ProStar electrical system and related components. Start by selecting Quadrant 2 on the digital display. Press and release the display control until the Calibrate Compass message appears. Press and hold the display control until End Calibration is displayed. Next, drive the vehicle in 3 complete circles. During this process, the compass display will go blank or have dashed lines. After stopping the vehicle, select Quadrant 2 on the display and select End Calibration. In order for the compass to be accurate, the vehicle's declination zone must be established after the calibration process is complete. Start by selecting Quadrant 2 on the digital display. Press and hold the display control until compass declination is displayed. Press and hold the display control once again to bring up the declination zone number selection screen. Turn the display control until the appropriate declination zone number appears. Set the compass zone number by pressing and holding the display control until compass declination is displayed. The yaw rate lateral acceleration sensor must be calibrated any time it is replaced. Use the Bendix ACOM diagnostic software loaded on the EasyTech to perform calibration. Select the Configuration option, followed by the Calibrate option. Select Lateral Acceleration. Then click Start. Follow the on-screen prompts. The screen displays instructions you must perform and acknowledge in order to complete the calibration process. With the telescoping steering column in the full up position, remove the trim panels. Disconnect the steering angle sensor wiring harness by depressing the side tabs and pulling up on the connector. Remove the nut and pinch bolt from the clamp section of the U-joint yoke and discard it. Mark the position of the yoke to the wheel shaft to maintain proper clocking of the steering wheel during reassembly. Remove the yoke and shaft assembly from the wheel shaft, taking care not to damage the splines. Remove the screws and slide the sensor off the shaft. Install the new steering angle sensor by aligning its tab with the slot on the wheel shaft. Make sure the connector is oriented in the proper direction. Warning: improper installation can cause the tab on the inside ring of the steering angle sensor to disengage from the slot of the wheel shaft. This can cause the Bendix stability system to malfunction, resulting in loss of vehicle control. Install the back retaining cover. Align the marks and reinstall the yoke and shaft assembly onto the wheel shaft. Install a new pinch bolt and nut. Tighten to the specification found on ISIS. Reconnect the steering angle sensor wiring harness. Reinstall the lower trim panels. Warning: if the steering angle sensor is not recalibrated, the yaw control system may not function properly, which can result in loss of vehicle control. The steering angle sensor must be calibrated any time the steering angle sensor has been replaced, after any maintenance or repair work on the steering linkage, steering gear, or other related mechanism, and after any adjustment of the wheel alignment or wheel track. To perform the calibration procedure for the steering angle sensor, refer to the Calibration Yaw Rate Lateral Acceleration Sensor section of this module. Use the Bendix ACOM diagnostic software loaded on the EasyTech to perform calibration. Select the configuration option. Then select the calibration option. Next, select steering angle. Then click Start. Follow the on-screen prompts. The screen displays instructions you must perform and acknowledge in order to complete the calibration process. Some important points to keep in mind when servicing this system. Manually adjust the slack adjuster and yoke away from the non-pressure chamber approximately 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch. Doing so will slightly compress the internal return spring, ensuring that the E-stroke components stay in their correctly keyed positions. Proper alignment is essential when installing the sensor into the StoneGuard sensor port. The sensor end must be inserted perpendicular to the face of the StoneGuard until the sensor is completely seated. Failure to fully seat the sensor directly affects the accuracy of the E-stroke system. In order to determine whether the brake actuator is functioning properly, refer to ISIS. Keep in mind the service brake air pressure is measured by the pressure transducer, while the pushrod stroke position is determined by the Hall effect sensor inside the brake chamber. Warning: after the sensor has been installed, follow the proper procedures found on ISIS to adjust the brakes before returning the vehicle to service. This concludes the International ProStar Electrical Program. Completion of this educational process is a key component towards international technician certification. You are now required to take a post-test via ISIS, Education, Service, online testing.